bakers, welcome to Cassie's Kitchen Creations. Today I'm going to bake some chocolate peanut clusters. I'm not going to bake them. I'm going to make them in the crock pot. Okay. So what you need is 2 pounds of the white almond bark. You need 4 ounces of sweet chocolate. I like the Baker's. You need semi-sweet chocolate chips, roughly about 16 ounces, 12 to 16 ounces, anywhere's good, right? You're gonna need 16 ounces of salted peanuts, and you're gonna need 8 to 16, depending on you, ounces of dry roasted unsalted peanuts. So you have dry roasted salted, dry roasted unsalted, or you can use all salted, or you can use all unsalted. It just depends on you. All right, we're gonna do a mix today, and if you would like to, you can add walnuts. If you like pecans, you can add pecans. If you like me, you like almonds, you can do one that's almonds. So when it comes to the nuts, you can play around with all the different ones. Pistachio, you can do mixed nuts, whatever it is that you like. When it comes to recipes, that's why it calls RE, recipe. You play around with it, modify it, tweak it, to satisfy your taste buds, as I said in previous videos. So when it comes to the nuts, you can use a variety. So we're not going to add these right now. So what you want to do is, I set my crock pot to hot, and then that's just so I can heat it up because it's been cool and I haven't been using it, right? So then I place it on low for about 30 minutes. Because when I prepare this, it has to be prepared on low, not on hot, because you want to melt your chocolate. You don't want to burn it. Okay? So you just add your almond blocks to your crock pot or your slow cooker, whichever you call it, one and the same. Okay? And if you would like to, you can break up your almond blocks. I usually do it, so I'll just go ahead and do this today. I usually break them up because I will say this, that it does melt a lot faster than if you just place the whole block in there. I don't know what I was thinking when I put it in. All right. And as you can see, like I said, I had it on low and they've already started. The bottom is already starting to melt. Okay. This just helps it to melt, a little quicker. All right, let me get this off my hands. And I try to use gloves, but sometimes when you're using gloves, it makes it a little tedious when you're trying to prepare things. I just make sure my hands are clean. And I'm cooking this for my house, so it's all good. If I was doing it for someone who was purchasing it, I would make sure I had on gloves. So next you want to add your chips. Okay. And then you want to add the 4 ounces of sweet chocolate. So you have sweet chocolate, you have semi-sweet chocolate chips, and you have 2 pounds of the white almond bark. If you like white chocolate, you can also do this without white chocolate. I prepared this before using both, and they both were a hit. I used to make this when I was in graduate school for a lot of my Chinese and Indian friends, and they loved it. All right, so we have our chocolate, our sweet chocolate block. We have our semi-sweet chocolate chips. We have our 2 pounds of white almond bark placed in the crock pot. The crock pot temperature is on low, and I'm going to place the lid on it, and I'll show you how it looks in there. Let me just switch this around here. Okay, so that's how it looks in the crock pot, and the temperature, as you can see, is on low. All right, so I'm just going to simply take the lid, place the lid on the crock pot, and I'm going to leave it there for roughly about 2 hours. Okay, so I'm going to check it in an hour. And if everything is melted, I'm going to stir it. Of course, I'm going to check it every 15-20 minutes and make sure nothing's burning. It's on low, so it should be fine. I'm going to stir it to mix my chocolates and make sure everything gets an even distribution and everything gets melted. All right? So when I get to that point, I'll pick you back up. All right, I'm doing my first check. Everything seems to be melting. I still have a few of the almond blocks that haven't melted yet, but I am mixing my chocolates, and I'm going to allow it to continue to melt on low. Again, it takes about 1 to 2 hours for everything to melt, and then you just mix it very good and make sure everything is homogeneous, that it's very well mixed. It's a uniform mixture before you add your peanuts, pecan, walnuts, almonds, cashew nuts, a mix of nuts. These are called chocolate peanut clusters, but it's crock pot style. And you can just change the name. Walnut, chocolate covered walnut clusters, crock pot style, whatever it is that you're gonna use. I'm gonna do some of these. This makes up to 20 servings, and you must prepare this in a 5-quart crock pot. Mixing it to make sure that your chocolates melt and not burn. That's key. I'm gonna add to these. I'm gonna do a few of these plain. I'm gonna add some caramel bites to a couple of them in the center while it's hot, and it'll melt the caramel. So this will be like a caramel peanut cluster. Then I'm gonna add one of the large marshmallow puffs to one as I drop it, and it's gonna have marshmallow melted in the middle of it. So it's gonna be a combination of some plain chocolate covered peanut clusters. It's going to be chocolate covered peanut clusters with marshmallows in the center, and chocolate covered peanut clusters with caramel in the center, which will be the caramel clusters. You can kind of play around with the recipes and, kind of make a variety of different things. I am making these for home, and of course a couple of my students, I take for them to try them out and tell me what they think. All right. So I'm going to let the chocolates continue to gel, continue to melt, continue to kind of mix, and I'll keep stirring them. And when it's time to add the peanuts, I will pick you back up. As you guys can see, the chocolate has all melted in the crock pot, and I have stirred it and mixed it to make sure everything's mixed well. There are no white or the almond bark that's left in here. It's all mixed in well together. Okay? So now it's time to add the peanuts, right? Or whatever nut you desire. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prep before I actually add the peanuts. So you need to lay out your parchment paper. And I'm going to prepare this on the counter. I'm just going to tear off 2 sheets of parchment paper. Now with this paper, I'm going to make one batch, which is my first batch, is going to be just my plain peanut chocolate covered nut clusters. And the second one is going to be with caramel in the center, and my third one is going to be with marshmallows. Okay, so I have everything laid out and ready. So now that everything is melted, I don't want it to scorch nor to burn. All you want is to make sure that your chocolate is good and melted, and I've done that. Okay, mastered. Now I'm going to add my 16 ounces of dry roasted salted peanuts. And you're going to mix these in with your chocolate. Just stir it up, make sure they all get covered very well. And as you can see, they're all well covered in chocolate. Okay. Now I'm going to take the unsalted peanuts, and I'm going to add half of these, roughly about 8 ounces at first. I don't want to have too many peanuts. A lot of people have peanut allergies, and I'm one of those people, but I love dry roasted peanuts. M&Ms with peanuts. But I'll take my medicine. I won't eat too many of them, maybe 1 or 2. Okay. I think I can add a few more, so I just add all of these. All right. So So I have 16 ounces of dry roasted, salted, 16 ounces dry roasted, unsalted. All right. All right, everything's all mixed in well together. All my peanuts are covered in chocolate. Now I'm going to place my crock pot on warm, and I'm just going to let that heat up for about another 15 minutes. And then I'm going to be ready to drop them. And the way you drop them is you can use your wooden spatula to drop them. You can use a soup spoon to drop them. You can use a tablespoon, or you can use an ice cream scoop, or you can use a cookie scoop. Either one. You can use those to drop them. You can make them as small as you would like, and you can make them as large as you would like. So I'm going to let these heat up for another about 15 minutes. And when I'm ready to drop them for them to mold and cool, and I'm ready to add my caramel and marshmallows, I will pick you back up. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So now I'm going to drop them and allow them to mold and cool. So the first one I'm going to do is just going to be just your plain chocolate covered peanut clusters. Okay? And again, you can use this spatula, you can use a spoon, teaspoon, you can use a measuring cup. You can use whatever you would like to drop them. It's up to you. You can use an ice cream scoop. And I just usually use my spatula. They usually come out pretty good. It has nothing to do with the taste anyway. It's just how much you want, how big you want them or how small you want them. That's usually what determines which one of your utensils you're going to use to drop them. So again, these are just the plain. And they're good. I like them. I usually make this like for my students. When we have our luncheons for students, I usually make these. I haven't made them for the students I presently have. This is my second semester working with them. But we usually have, like, for graduating seniors in STEM, we usually have like a celebration, like a luncheon, and I'll make these for them this year. I baked them some purple velvet cakes, and I took red velvet, which you saw on the previous bake, to a luncheon we had last week, and everybody liked it. So, yeah. Alright, so that's all you do, is you just mix everything in your crock pot really quick. It usually takes about an hour. And you know, it depends on which brand of crock pot, depends on your wattage on your crock pot. This is a pretty good crock pot here. And you just drop them, and you're gonna let them cool at their own pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 of these. I'll do one more and make it 12. So that's gonna be 12 regular, and I'm sure I can get more once these cool. All right, the next ones I'm gonna do is gonna be the ones with the marshmallows. And I did take the marshmallows and I did cut them in half. And now I'm just going to lay the marshmallows out. And you know, when you cut them, you have to make sure that you wet your scissors or knife or whatever you use with cold water to make sure that you can cut through them and that they don't stick together. And I'm going to do 12 of these as well. And you also have to wet your hand so that they don't stick to your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. So that's 12. So I just put my marshmallows there, and then I just drop my chocolate on top of it. And this is really hot, and I actually still have it on warm. So it's gonna melt the marshmallows. This is kind of like a Rocky Road peanut cluster. with when you put the marshmallows in it. It's kind of like doing a Rocky Road fudge. And you can make these for any of your office parties, just family get-togethers, holidays, just something for the weekend. Or if you wanted to do something, snack for your kids through the week. I mean, most people don't try to give their children's chocolate, but I mean, hey, they're gonna eat it anyway, whether you give it to them or not. Right? Right. So 12 and 12, so as you can see, I have 24. It says it makes 20. If you make a really large, you can get 20. I usually do mine about a medium size. So far I've gotten 12 of the plain, and I've gotten 12 of the marshmallow. And now I'm going to, the last two with the marshmallow, I kind of did a little different. I kind of added the marshmallow to the top. I just want to see the difference. I'll add a few more to these two. Make these a little bigger. All right. So we're just going to leave these here and let these cool, and they'll mold into their shape. And the last ones that I'm going to do are going to be the ones that have the caramel. So I'll tear off another sheet of parchment paper. Okay. And I'm just going to line it. And then with the caramel, excuse me. Okay, these are just the little bites. And I'll take about 6 of these. And I'll just place them in a spot. 2, 4, 6. 2, 3, 6. Now with these, I'm not going to put the caramel on the bottom. I'm going to place the caramel on the top. All right, so now I'm going to pick up my caramel here. I'm going to drop my chocolate covered peanut clusters, and I'm just going to drop my caramel in there. Okay. And I kind of like move the peanuts on top. I kind of want the caramel to be all throughout. I don't want it to be in one spot. All right. This is the next caramel. And see, I love to just play around with recipes. When I was in grad school, this is what I would do in the evenings. If I didn't have anything to write on my dissertation, I didn't need to do any research, I would just go home and find me a nice recipe or tweak on a recipe that I have had from, growing up, and just go in the kitchen and play around with it. These are really quick. These are easy to prepare, very, very quick. my sisters have shared this recipe with me. I've given you the basic recipe, which is basically making a regular chocolate covered peanut nut cluster. But of course, as I said, you know, I may write a cookbook and I don't give away all of my secrets that I've incorporated into these recipes. But I've given you the basic recipe that does work. All right. So far so good. And also you can take the caramel and you can melt it. And you can place it in, like pour it in the center. I've also done that as well. But the candy is hot enough to where it will melt these little chocolate, little caramel bite. It's warm enough. The object is that when they bite into it, they also bite into the caramel. Alrighty. So I have a little bit left. Once these all cool, I will transfer these to wax paper as well and let them mold. I need to do 4 more of the caramel, so I have 12 of each. I think I have enough to do 4 more. All right, so I'm going to allow these to cool. I'll place you on hold, and once they have molded, I will come back and show you what the final product looks like. Stay tuned. Okay, everyone. The chocolate covered peanut clusters, plain with caramel and with marshmallows, are ready. They have cooled and they have shaped or molded into clusters. That's a plain one. This is one that has the marshmallow in it. And the one with the caramel, it's still drying. They're not completely dry yet because I made these a little bit larger, okay? And plus the caramel is softer as well. All right, so that's going to end today's preparation of the chocolate covered peanut nut clusters. If you like any of the things that I do, please click the thumbs up. Please click the notification bell, click all, so that as soon as I upload a video, you'll be able to be notified and you can view it. Also, if you have a comment, please leave it in the comments below, positive and negative. I only read the positive ones. Negatives, I keep strolling to the next positive. Okay? So, thanks for watching. Have a great one, and I will see you on the next bake, prep, or cook. Bye!